Hey guys, so this is version 2 of what I'm going to be talking about. So someone was nice enough to, in parts, flipping the screen so that way it would, they wouldn't have probably problems with copywriting, obviously, for a while. Until, because I know it always does happen eventually, so I'm glad I got to see this before it'll be taken down, because I know it'll happen. I got to see Epic Winter. Now, no, I do not have the online Netflix. Hopefully in the next few weeks, maybe I can convince before a certain week happens that I can get it so I can start watching and like putting certain things up. So, because I mean, we're mainly getting for, as I've said before, 3 or 4 different things to watch. Mine is mainly anything with doing Monster High, Ever After High, and now My Little Pony Equestria Girls, because that's where the next movie Legend of Every is gonna be. Yay! Yeah, you can see my enthusiasm. It's just the fact of having it where it's only that way available is kind of frustrating, because not everybody does everything online too. But so we all know what happened in Dragon Games. Darling is the actual princess for Apple. Yeah, I mean, she technically, if we went back to the beginning, Apple, two things: you just wanted to slap Apple and Daring because of how they were, and it just drove me nuts. Like, I did not care for those 2 characters right from the start. And I think that's partially what the intention was, but for those of girls who wanted to be the pretty princess, it's like, yeah, there you go. Enjoy her while she lasts. But luckily enough, they developed over time. Both characters. Apple slowly more than Daring. Daring was a slow roll, like molasses. Now we all know the other ships, like Ashlyn and Hunter, are canon. I think it's Justine or no, wait, that's the dancer girl. Jillian and Yeg Boy might be a possible ship, but I don't know. Obviously, there's the possible 3-sided love between Cupid, Dexter, and Raven, but we don't know that for sure. And then obviously there's the Sparrow Duchess and that could possibly happen because it seems like those 2 seem right for each other. They're both annoying. I mean, there's many other ships people do, but I mean, like, I'm just going with the obvious ones. Now, because of the thing is, there are multiple ships that you wouldn't think of but could be possible, especially before the Dragon Games. Because a lot of people not only shipped Apple with Daring, but people actually shipped her with Raven, and actually I could see that happening because of how their friendship was. And yeah, it could have just been friendship, but it's like there was just certain things. But instead, we got Darling and Raven or Apple, so it's a good second. It's like, because for one thing, if you guys don't remember, or if you're not fans of Monster High, then you don't know this, or the Barbie movies way back, but when they first started out, like, they actually were, like, got premiered first on Nickelodeon. Barbie movies did it up to a certain point. I don't know if they do it anymore, or if Barbie's just moved on. Monster High did it up to a certain point. I don't know if they still do it. And then Netflix took them over until recently with the only one that hasn't been on Netflix since they started, the one for Laguna, which I showed you guys in one of my last videos that I got. So yay. But I had already seen it online at some point. And then Ever After High was actually aired on Nickelodeon up till I don't know which one, the last one that was aired, but it was I think maybe Spring on Sprung was the last one possibly, or maybe even the Throne Coming. I'm really not sure anymore because the reason I'm surprised that they even were able to in the first place, but if they keep taking off, I mean, the reason why they took off Legend of Korra by 3rd season was because it got too dark even for kids, which was kind of sad. And then obviously anything like Ever After High since Dragon Games and on, would never go on probably Disney. But pretty much the thing is, this makes sense. Apple actually, like I said, Apple slowly developed where she realized she couldn't force Raven to be part of the Destiny if she did not want it. Though Raven eventually did say she did want it because she just wanted to make everyone else happy at some point. Though she instead signed it because she needed to protect everybody and then learn to control those powers, or slowly trying to learn to control those powers. Which started with Way to Wonderland. And then Daring, because of Dragon Games, I mean, like, I saw literally in the Royal Side episode that he was gonna be the Beast. I mean, everyone thought it might have been Dexter, but it's like, Dexter's too nice. He's never self-conscious about his looks because he doesn't think he has good looks. Yeah, he does, trust me, especially when you see those eyes. Daring may have the whole face, Darling has her hair, but man, oh man, Dexter has those eyes, which is why I don't blame Cupid for falling for him. But, like, everyone kept thinking that, but it's like, or maybe possibly pressuring that because they thought if Daring was going to be Apple's Destiny, Dexter had to be either probably Briar's, Ashland's, or Rosabella's, which we wouldn't have known right away until Rosabella was released, because we didn't know when they were ever going to be doing the Beauty and the Beast character until they finally did, and it took a darn long time to get her actually in even a webisode, let alone the little short thing in Way to Wonderland, or was it Spring on Sprung? I have no idea. Sorry if you hear weird noises. I have my ache in my foot became now an itch in my foot, and this likely not because I've been taking Benadryl for the last 2 days, excluding today. I've been able to get the swelling on my fingers down, and my finger and my hand down, and my elbow hasn't been bugging me at all. It's just a little bump, but it's like I gotta figure out if I'm gonna need to put some cortisone on my foot now. So seeing Epic Winter has really made me happy because it's like, especially seeing the dream sequence, that was the best part of that, I swear. Because honestly, Epic Winter consisted of 4 stories. 1 major, and 2 side major, and 1's extremely minor, which was Blondie's. That did not need to be done. The only reason why it was is so she could tag along for the whole thing, which she was needed to pick locks. That's it. I mean, I think that she's been reduced down to picking locks and being a newscaster, which is kind of sad. Fabel's story wasn't as major, but it was a good part because of what they did with the second side major, which was Rosabella and Daring's relationship. Now the thing is, I don't know if I can get subtitles because the narrators were talking over Rosabella, and she said something as Daring helped her up towards the end of the story, or whole episode, or movie, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm hoping that maybe someone will find out what was said, and when they put up the description in the Wikipedia site for Ever After High, we'll finally get to see what's said. Even if we can't hear, because I know she said thought, trust me, I went back a couple times trying to look. But, so, here's the last thing I'm gonna say. Technically, there's certain stories that are already done. Apple's story's done. Rosabella's story's done. Because they've been reenacted out. I mean, the next one we could possibly have something happen with is Ashland's story. I mean, she's the only major princess that we haven't seen anything happen yet. Or Sleeping Beauty, even. I mean, Briar keeps pricking his finger on normal needles, so it's like she keeps missing everything from time to time, but we still have to wait. But she still hasn't had her destiny happen to her, nor does she want it to now, ever since I think it was Spring on Sprung that happened, because that's what led to Way to Wonderland. there's certain stories, I mean, like, that have to be filled out or figured out. We have to figure out who Dexter is the prince of. I mean, that would be a nice story, or nice find out. We need to see what's going to happen with Ashlyn Hunter, because if I don't remember if Ashlyn signed her story legend or the storybook of legends in the what episodes or back in Legacy Day, or if she actually, or like she did in the book. That's what I'm trying to say. Pretty much most of the two major stories that you could possibly do right now are we're done now. There's not much else you can do unless you're just yet. I mean, I'm glad they did the Snow Queen kind of story, and it's kind of good because now we have that. And there's still plenty of fairy tales that they can start working on the characters for that haven't been done, and they actually do have some characters labeled. I don't know if they were in books or if they were in are going to be in the webisodes, because actually how both Ever After High and Monster High got started was book series. Someone created them. Now I think maybe Ever After High was based because of Monster High, but it is a books thing. Monster High though hasn't had a main book series from the original books in a while. There's only 4 of them out, and then now these side story ones with these side characters, Venus, Rochelle, though Rochelle's been more of a player in a couple of the movies, and Rebecca, and actually Rebecca played a big thing in one of the last 2. I think it was Freaky Fusion. But I mean, like, the thing is, they're not going to be doing any more with the books, for Monster High at least, because of this whole remake. Or actually, that might be the reason why, because, if you read the book series, it actually was where they wanted to make a high school for monsters. Because Frankie was supposed to be homeschooled all her life, but she wanted to see what normal high school life was, so they took precautions, and they did the same, and it's like everybody was hiding. I mean, they still got together for like meetings, and the kids had to show up or go with them because of protection, obviously. But the thing is, that's how it got started. So I think they're actually trying to start with a book. I mean, kind of basing it slowly off the book series, which I'm kind of disappointed now, because it's like now they're restarting for a whole new generation. Because when Monster High came out, I was just in high school still, like probably between sophomore and senior year is when Monster High started, and then Ever After High started probably soon after that. So within probably by my senior year, if at our latest. Or between latest and earliest. I really don't know. I'm sorry I keep doing this, but it's like I'm gonna have to put cortisone on this. Anyway, the thing is with the books, they kind of take bits and pieces, but there's certain things they haven't done yet. If you haven't read the books, I'm sorry, but Cerise actually eventually reveals that who both sides of her family are, because of something to help Raven. And there's a couple of other things, like Ashlyn did, in the books, write her own destiny, or sign her name in the book of legends. So I mean, like I said, the next thing they could do is doing something with Ashlyn's story, something possibly maybe even with Sleeping Beauty or Briar's story. And that's about it, because they're going to have to realize that Apple's done and Rosabella's done. There's no need to be doing those. Yeah, you can still progress in the characters, but that's about it. Now, we haven't got any new episodes, obviously, because Epic Winter has only been released in the last few weeks. And they do have dolls for other stuff, like, actually, if I think about it, we might be getting one new thing, because if you remember from Comic-Con, I think it was last year's, we got Evil Queen Raven doll at Comic-Con. And that's exactly what she wore when she was in Dragon Games, when she was gonna give up and be who her mom wanted her to be, or at least as a distraction. so that way they could figure out something until then. Because mainly it was her mom wanted her to be just like her, which was actually also derived from the books too. Now the thing is also with that, they also went into a side things, but the thing is with those side stories, they are actually useful, because you just gotta read them out. But this time we got a Pinocchio'd Cedar Woods, so I think we're gonna be getting that next. So be prepared for the spring, people, because who knows what we're gonna get. This is Ali signing off. Click like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. I know I still have to talk about the Steven Universes. I'll probably talk about them when, actually I'm going to talk about them right now. They were okay. Now, the thing is, I saw clips of the one with mainly Peridot learning about corrupted gems by accident. I didn't think they were the whole majority episode clips. And then Know Your Fusion, I thought it was going to be going out that day, and so I luckily enough found those clips online, or the episode online in parts, but then it turned out it wasn't. So I mean, I have a couple things to say about Sardonyx, but because of time, I'm not going to. So we get our next episode, I think, on Thursday, if not Friday. Now I'm going to be working on Friday too, so if anything, I will try to do my review for Steven Universe on Saturday, and hopefully it'll get done. This is Alex signing off. Click like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. I'm hoping we get some more Ever After High characters, because we really need some more. I hate to say it, but it's like we need something like, we need characters that we can start deriving off of, because I mean, we've only done a little bit with these new ones. Like Jillian's got an episode, Nina's got an episode, Fable's got an episode, or not Fable, Fair's got an episode, I think I should have said, and Ramona's got an episode, and she doesn't even have a doll yet, and she's got an episode finally, which actually was part of Justine's, so I'm hoping we get more with just Ramona than just, in the next time. Sorry, it's like this is where I gotta go down and just, so I will see you guys hopefully later.